Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Brandon. More like spooky, am I right?
We're back doing the Doki Doki Literature Club.
More like spooky,
I,
am I right?
I don't know. It looks pretty pleasant to me.
I don't know. It's 4 girls. That's pretty scary.
That's a lot of girls.
That's way too many girls.
All right. Well, let's go talk to some of these girls.
Okay, we're gonna continue sharing poems.
Oh, yeah. Well, who should you show your poem to?
Let's just go in order.
Okay.
Sayori.
Oh, no.
I don't remember any of the girls.
I know. Okay, well, I know you're the main person.
Yes. I'm Nikki.
I remember the purple hair. She kind of sounded down.
Yeah.
And then we switched and I played Natsuki.
Yeah.
And then...
I want to say you pretty much played everyone but Natsuki.
Okay.
And the main person.
Got it.
But
okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. This is a good poem, Nikki. It's not the voice that it was.
I think she was a little more annoying.
Sounds right. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. It's the morning time. Oh, no. Well, I'll be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Nikki. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that then. How dare you try to take my line?
Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Do you want me to read it?
I don't remember what we did last time, if we had the writer read it or Nikki read it. I think you read it.
I feel like, okay, well. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help send me out of bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Girl, same.
Okay.
I think you had to click off of it.
There you go.
Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No. Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast.
I love that face she makes.
I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it.
Alright, Yuri. She was the sad one.
She kind of sounded like Eeyore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine. Don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah?
It sucks! No.
Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
I'll kill you. So it's that bad.
No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face into her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical to new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them, building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present and living in the past. The light flickens. Flickers. So close.
It does look like flickin'.
Flickin'. The light flickens. I flick. God damn it. The light flickers. I flicker back. I read the whole thing like masterfully.
You did. It was beautiful.
I felt in
A+ delivery.
Thank you.
But no, that definitely looks like an N. So
Learn to write better.
get better handwriting, Yuri.
Oh, she heard you.
Yuri, your handwriting sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting.
That's amazing. Now I'm scared. That's kind of spooky.
She's probably heard you.
Fuck. I'm scared. What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Yeah? That's a relief.
Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Nikki.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering on her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember, it won't be long before you pick up on those things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
You didn't have to look at me when you said that.
Time for Monica's. I don't remember
Monica.
Monica. I don't remember her voice at all. Hi, Nikki. I feel like that's right.
Yeah.
Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening.
Stop it!
What?
Stop looking at me when it's like kind of like it could be creepy. Like I'm always listening. Look.
Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Stop it. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Nikki. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Stop trying to take my lines!
I'm so sorry.
If you step on my line again, I will kill you.
Just walk off set. Can't work with this. I like it, Nikki.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Oh, jeez.
No. It kind of makes me think something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein?
Maybe a long time ago.
He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody.
I see. So you're saying that Natsuki's kind of like that?
Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why... Sorry, I broke. I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best kind of style that suits you. It's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of style. But I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then.
A hole in wall. It could have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I have to go. Oh. Where was I? My retinas. I realized now I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he on the other side was looking in.
Ooh.
Okay. The page is hard to operate. So what do you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
That's okay. Yeah, that's the kind of style that has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is a bit better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain kind of gets fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get just a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. Sorry. Just funny to imagine. She's like, hi, that's my... Sorry. My advice for the day. Thanks for listening.
Phew.
We made it through all the
We
poems.
read all the poems. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities.
Oh.
Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language? That wasn't her voice. Did you say something? Did you want to be going back to Natsuki, or do you want me to?
No, I think you should still do your impression of my Natsuki.
Oh, it's nothing.
That's not what
That
I
is not at
sound
all.
like.
I couldn't.
Oh, it's nothing.
Okay, it was like,
Oh, it's nothing.
That was good.
okay.
I mean, it sounded mocking, but like,
That's,
but like a spot-on mocking.
okay,
So yeah.
that's what it'll be.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poems to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
I feel like that's gonna hurt your voice.
Probably.
Is the only thing.
Thanks. I hope we don't talk together for very long. Yours is cute.
Cute. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
Humph. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Nikki did too.
It me.
So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Nikki liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh no, what did you do?
oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what I... You just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Nikki appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
And how do you know you didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Oh.
What? I'm coming at you. Hush.
Is everyone okay?
I don't remember.
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew size bigger as soon as Nikki started showing up.
Natsuki!
Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys.
So, no, that's you. Fuck, I did it! No! That's not my fault!
Don't leave the sand again!
Oh my god. Okay. That was just like the episode of Dream Daddy when they all played cards together. That's what that was like. So, you're welcome.
Yeah. So.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Don't turn towards me, Brendan!
Nikki, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true! You started it! If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. That's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason. The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Nikki.
Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our own language. In our language. There's no own in there. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Nikki?
Whoa!
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be Natsuki.
You're gonna pick Natsuki?
Yeah, we already established.
Okay.
Natsuki's our girl.
Terrifying.
I mean, I guess we could do a neutral
you said
and do
Natsuki.
Sayori, but
I feel like we're
yeah, it's just all in on Natsuki. Yuri, you're really talented,
well.
but Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that.
Yeah! It did, didn't it?
Oh, that's loud.
Shows how much you know.
That's not.
Natsuki, I think that's enough.
Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me.
Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. And sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism
Sorry.
Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki.
Ah!
Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise.
I realize it's like almost my Chris Tucker impression.
It is kind of...
Oh my god, Dennis! Thanks for noticing.
She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said. So you don't need to feel threatened either.
Well, if you say so.
Hey! It's not like you need to apologize for me, Nikki. Sheesh.
Natsuki takes a breath.
The thing about... Oh...
Natsuki glances around the room.
Would everyone stop staring at me?
Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away.
Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all.
Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone.
Sayori's just like, hey! Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri.
Sayori?
I'll go make some tea. That was not the right voice. I was just trying to help.
I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that was worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Nikki.
Stop looking at me!
And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little too used to.
So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere.
No, not at all. Not at all. There's still time before we go home. So we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room. So maybe... Yeah, sorry. We can take the chance to pick up a book. I don't know, you idiot. No, do some writing. After all, that's what the club's for. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun.
Nerd.
Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. Our voices are too similar.
In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end,
Doesn't even matter. Sorry.
I guess it's been worth it so far.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
Nikki, how about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. Well, in that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you've learned something from your friends, too. And your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress.
Wink.
I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Nikki, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either.
Aww.